being a recipient of a kidney transplant. He was also a colleague and for many people, a great friend.
It's 8:07, and here's my buddy Earl Seitz doing the sports.
Stan Bailey was a voice many in Kamloops woke up to on the radio. For 31 years,
Best known as the morning host on 98.3 CIFM here in Kamloops up until his retirement in 2018. He had a zest for life, for family, and he was an advocate for organ donation, being a recipient of a kidney transplant. He was also a colleague and for many people, a great friend.
It's 8:07, and here's my buddy Earl Seitz doing the sports.
Stan Bailey was a voice many in Kamloops woke up to on the radio. For 31 years, he co-hosted the morning show on CIFM, and 25 of those years were spent with his best friend Henry Small. He left a major impression on his listeners and the community.
Obviously, his personality and just Stan being Stan, who he was this incredibly lovable guy whose laughter was infectious. But also the fact that not only was he waking people up every morning, but he also was DJing their weddings. He was DJing their graduations. So he was so much a part of their lives and their memories of these big moments.
Many woke up Saturday morning to the sad news of Bailey's passing. Since the summer, Bailey had been fighting COVID-19 in the ICU. He lost that battle, but leaves behind an incredible legacy. The station's former GM, Rick Arnish, remembers bringing Stan back to Kamloops to host the CIFM morning show, a show called The Twins with Doug Collins. One day, Stan actually agreed to do a show from the top of Mount Paul.
Stan was always up for doing stunts, and we needed to have something big to kick off the station. And in the early years of the station, we in fact put him in a helicopter, flew him up to the top of Mount Paul, and he did his morning show from the top of Mount Paul. That's the type of person he was. He was very open to challenges and doing things right for the station and for the community.
Tributes have been pouring in on social media, with many appreciating his voice on the radio, but also his ability to get a party going as a DJ. The loving memories are no surprise to his close former colleagues like Earl Seitz, who read the sports on Stan and Hank in the morning for years.
I remember Stan as being somebody who was very friendly. He was very compassionate. I never, ever heard him say a bad word about anybody. And I never heard anybody ever say a bad word about Stan. And I think the outpouring of love, I guess you would call it, and affection that you've seen on social media over the last few days really says what kind of a person Stan was.
He's just the best guy.
Stan's longtime radio co-host Henry Small says he's too devastated to talk about his best friend. In tributes made about Bailey when he retired in 2018, Hank said the two just clicked right from the beginning.
It just was an instant kind of thing. There was just a rapport between us. We both had completely different lives, but kind of had the same attitude towards life. And, he had gone through some stuff, I'd gone through some stuff, and we found radio together.
Bailey, who was from Kamloops but started in radio in 1968 in Williams Lake, returned to the city in 1987 and stayed on the airwaves in the city for good. It was all a dream come true.
I worked hard at it, I guess. A lot of failure at first, a lot of getting laid off or fired. And finally we struck gold, I guess. And I found Henry, and the rest is history. It turned out pretty good.
Chad Klassen, CFJC News.